Coming up on Focal Point. A new local bakery is trying to make life a little sweeter for the community.
Daisy and I knew from the beginning we wanted to be able to help others through baked goods.
We'll be taking you inside the Michigan State Police Department as the date for when the new police chief takes over draws closer and closer.
Do you want to build a snowman? I'll show you how one local organization is not building a snowman with snow, but is using these to impact the community.
A text and a split decision from Michael Zyrich's girlfriend Sophia to drive him here is what saved the Spartan sophomore's life.
One of the most selfless kids I've ever met.
Focal Point starts now.
Hello and good afternoon. I'm Brianna Idzior.
And I'm Reagan Holgate. Welcome to Focal Point. We have a lot to get to today. First, Focal Point's Joe Freihofer is live in East Lansing with a story that seems to be changing every day.
Yeah, hey Reagan, hey Brianna, good morning to you both. That's right, we're here live in East Lansing outside of Michael Zyrich's fraternity Sigma Nu, where he's loved here. He's actually the vice president, and during his time on campus over here to my left, he's made quite a number of friends as well. But nobody in the past 2 weeks can believe what's happened to this kid, from a healthy and happy sophomore to now in intensive care in Ann Arbor.
He's always just a fun time to be around. He's never really negative about anything. He's always looking out for somebody.
He's the guy who stops with you to wait for you to tie your shoe versus going off with the rest of the group.
Michael Zyrich.
That smile of his.
A contagious smile. Everybody loved to be around Michael.
One of the most selfless kids I've ever met, and it's really changed me as a person and how I carry myself.
Zyrich is the vice president of MSU's Sigma Nu. But at the house, on the corner of Oak and Abbott, that smile everyone loves is missing.
Michael was just working out, and he said how his head was going. He stated like how he felt like it was gonna explode.
He went to the car and then texted Sophia, said, "Hey, something's wrong," and that's Michael's girlfriend, Sophia LaPuma.
When Michael's girlfriend Sophia got the text, something told her it was serious. So she decided to act fast and drove them here to Sparrow Hospital in downtown Lansing. And it was Sophia's quick thinking that saved Michael's life.
Luckily, she acted quickly. She's actually in the middle of a class via Zoom, left her sorority house, didn't even have shoes on.
Zyrich had suffered an aneurysm. He then traveled from Sparrow to Ann Arbor on a ventilator.
All she responded was, just pray a lot.
As doctors raced to save Michael's life. But then, as Zyrich's brother James says,
something that's hard to put into words.
The undescribable happened. The family received $200,000 in 2 days on GoFundMe. Even more undescribable,
I got a FaceTime from my parents, and they're just like, they did it.
His most recent surgery, a success. As for his friends and loved ones,
it's like you have to really just appreciate every moment now.
Now, it's about making each moment in time.
You got to enjoy the moments you're with the people you like, you enjoy, and you love.
You're gonna punch and put us through this, that's for sure.
Count.
Yeah.
In East Lansing, Joe Freihofer, Focal Point News. Now guys, today marks exactly 19 days since Sophia and Michael first stepped through the doors of Sparrow. The next step for doctors is to remove a drainage tube that's attached to his brain that is relieving the pressure from that initial aneurysm. But guys, the most important part here, he's back and on his way to being the Michael that everybody loves. Here live in East Lansing, Joe Freihofer, Focal Point News. Brianna, back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Joe. And last week, another student, Michigan State freshman Baran Sakiri, was admitted to the hospital after suffering symptoms of what he was first told by doctors was a panic attack. After more tests, doctors discovered that Sakiri had suffered a stroke with bleeding in his brain. Baran has since lost movement in the left side of his body and will require intensive physical therapy. His fraternity brother, Joey Brincat, started a GoFundMe to assist with Baran's current and future medical bills. The page has raised over $14,000 in just a few days. To make a donation to support Zyrich's or Sakiri's recovery, go to www.gofundme.com and search for their names. Michigan State's intramural facilities are open again. They've been closed for 2 weeks. The closure came as new COVID-19 cases started going up on campus. Now MSU is allowing IM West to open back up. The staff is making sure everyone follows CDC guidelines, including wearing masks, social distancing, and having a participant count. Some, like MSU freshman Ian Duda, feel their mental health depends on places like this.
As soon as I step in the gym, I forget about everything and just all my stress just goes away, you could say, with the pumping of the weights.
The return of IM facilities also means reopening basketball, table tennis, and racquetball for up to 2 people per court.
Taking classes virtually is a big adjustment for students and teachers, but Professor Troy Hale has found a way to
hopefully it will also inspire the situation that we find ourselves in and see what is possible even during these challenging times. So follow my adventure as we teach on the road this spring.
Different parts of the country. A way maybe to keep students engaged. He bought a used camper, renovated it, and hit the road. Along the way, he's recording lessons and his students get to take the trip with him virtually.
Hopefully it will also inspire the situation that we find ourselves in and see what is possible even during these challenging times. So follow my adventure as we teach on the road this spring.
Taking all safety precautions into consideration, Hale's students are finding themselves learning about media and journalism with a real backdrop of America. The COVID-19 pandemic has put graduation plans up in the air for another year. With only 2 months left until graduation, the university has not picked a definitive day when most of the ceremonies will take place. They have narrowed it down to 3 different days for baccalaureate and advanced degree programs. Spartans picking up their bachelor degrees will be receiving them on either April 30th, May 1st, or May 2nd. Master's, PhD, medical, and educational degrees will receive their diplomas on May 7th or 8th or May 14th. The only finalized graduation dates are for the undergraduate veterinary medicine ceremony on May 7th and the law degree ceremony on May 14th. University officials are still unsure if graduation ceremonies will be held online or in person. As of right now, the different colleges are organizing their own separate times for their graduates to walk across the stage to allow for greater social distancing.
There's a new sheriff in town, literally, well, almost. On April 1st, it won't be an April Fool's prank. Michigan State will welcome a new chief of police and vice president of public safety to the MSUPD. Focal Point's Darren Baydoun sat down with the incoming chief to discuss his plans as he steps into his new role.
Inside the Michigan State Police Station, past this point lies a maze of rooms and hallways that will soon be home to incoming MSU Police Chief Marlon C. Lynch.
Definitely looking forward to being the Vice President for Public Safety and Chief of Police at MSU.
A former Spartan, Lynch will be focusing on connecting with the students and the greater community from the start of his tenure.
So I plan on conducting a listening tour when I arrive and to meet with students, student leadership, colleagues, faculty and staff, as well as the East Lansing community.
Public Information Officer Chris Rosman believes Lynch's arrival will provide stability and leadership as well as enhancing their ongoing efforts.
We're looking forward to his insight and his experience and what he can bring to our department to further enhance the efforts that we've already started.
Now, according to salary.com, the average salary for a police chief in the state of Michigan is $110,185. That's compared to Lynch's salary, which is going to be $299,000. That is nearly a 200% increase from the median salary.
I believe that the salary goes along and be compatible with the structure level of being at the vice president combined with the chief of police role.
Regardless of any potential controversy, Lynch is looking forward to returning to his old stomping grounds and leading the charge into the future for MSU's police department.
To have the opportunity to come back in this capacity to definitely make a difference and have a significant impact on the community there, specifically in regards to safety, means a lot.
Reporting from East Lansing, Darren Baydoun, Focal Point News.
Make sure to stay here with Focal Point as we continue to follow the new decisions the MSUPD will be making moving forward. A few miles east of the police department and East Lansing is the small town of Williamston. You're looking here now at our live picture in downtown Williamston. If you are familiar with the area, you know there's a movie theater, a couple familiar local shops, but this business here could be the sweetest of them all. Focal Point's Leah Mitchell baked up this story.
Do you want to turn on the oven for me?
In a time of uncertainty, one thing keeping locals smiling
This one's actually really delicious.
is In-Kind Bakery. Fueling their passion for baking, co-owners Kimberly Scott and Daisy Chang use their love to impact the community.
Our mission is just to fuel the passion for baking for both Daisy and I, and then also have a positive impact on the community through in-kind donations.
The name In-Kind has a special meaning for the two.
So by giving our baked goods, it's an in-kind donation. So it started with that. Daisy and I knew from the beginning we wanted to be able to help others through baked goods. But also the K stands for Kimberly and D stands for Daisy in the word in kind.
The bakery opened February 6th and has been the talk of the town.
I just came here for a treat since when it opened.
We sold out on our opening day within 4 hours, which was very unexpected.
Every day, the bakery donates leftover food to the Williamston Food Bank.
We are not accepting tips. We're asking for donations to the food bank instead.
The official taste tester, Charlotte Etchebarn, makes sure everything is baked to perfection before serving.
Everything is really great.
Raising awareness for Michigan shops and aiming to impact the community on a bigger scale, In-Kind Bakery isn't letting masks or restrictions tart their sweet mission. In Williamston, I'm Leah Mitchell with Focal Point News.
Take another look here at our live cam in Williamston. It's a sunny day in Williamston and here in Ingham County. In-Kind Bakery, of course, is new to downtown Williamston, and the owners say they are dedicated to make a difference. I hear our producers out there might have a donut for us to bring back here for the anchors. Oh, look, there it is. It's our duty here to let you know how everything tastes. We wish the new bakery all the success.
Coming up, there aren't a lot of big hills in mid-Michigan to sled down, but there is now.
And I'm Olivia Santelli. Here is another look from Williamston on this cool February morning. When we come back, we'll let you know when we can count on some warmer weather in this week's forecast.
As Spartans, we've taken steps together to slow the spread of the coronavirus. But the fight is far from over, and it's our job to continue to protect ourselves and our community. If we want what we love most about MSU,
in-person classes, walking around campus, tailgates,
we have to continue to take precautions. Follow state and local guidelines. Wash your hands for 20 seconds. Stay 6 feet apart from others when possible. And wear face coverings. These little things can have a huge impact. So mask up and make a difference.
Welcome back to Focal Point. Now, what's a better way to spend a snow day than on a 600-foot snow hill? Check out Hawk Island Park in Lansing. The massive snow hill features 4 groomed sledding lanes. They have inner tubes you can use. Sledders and their tubes can hop on the conveyor belt to take them right up to the top of the hill. Tickets are $10 a person or $8 a person in groups of 4 or more. Tickets must be purchased ahead of time due to limited capacity, and masks are required. There is no age requirement, but sledders need to be able to load and exit their tubes alone.
It's not a normal sled hill, but it's a big sled hill on these where you get to go sledding it down. It feels like you're just whooshing, like bumping a little bit and going down fast, so yeah.
Tickets can be purchased on the Ingham County Parks website, and the hours are posted on there as well. We have Olivia Santelli standing by in the studio with your weather update. Olivia, how much longer are the kids going to be able to participate in all this winter fun?
You know, Reagan, I don't think that we're going to get much more snow this time of the year. We're heading into these spring temperatures. We have this week in Michigan, Grand Rapids is sitting at 35, with Lansing sitting at 34, and Detroit is at 32. If you come over to Chicago, they're at about the same as everywhere else. If you're taking a look at these lower southern states, you can see that it's almost summer down there. So for students taking their break this week, some people in Miami at about 80, but we're looking forward to some more spring weather coming up. Right now, our current forecast is looking at about 32 in Lansing, 35 in Grand Rapids, 36 in Detroit, and 32 in Mount Pleasant. And these are our break days this week. So instead of spring break, we'll have some mild weather here. 41, high of 41 on Tuesday, high of 48 on Wednesday, which I think is pretty good for Michigan. Here's our 7-day forecast. We're taking a look at some mid-40s. Sunday, it looks like we're going to get some showers, but then it'll be pretty steady for that upper 40s spring weather. And that is our forecast for the week. Brianna, what do you have planned this weekend?
Well, Olivia, if the temperatures are going to be a little bit warmer, I might have to grab my homework and go outside and get a little bit of that fresh air. Thanks so much. Claire Heisey now joins us in the studio with the latest news on entertainment around the area. Claire?
That's right, Brianna. Today is the last Friday of Black History Month, and what better way to close the month than a spotlight on rap culture in Michigan. Directed by one of our very own, Focal Point's Sade Moore has the scoop on that.
Jerry Zeldez teaches at Michigan State University.
It is true green and white MSU.
She enjoys all types of music, but she always had a love for rap.
I've always been interested in the music, dancing aspect of it, really love the beats.
That's when the journalism professor had an idea to create a documentary on Flint rap.
He was giving in that way where he would give tips and lend his voice.
It's called Breed and Bootleg, Legends of Flint Rap. The story of MC Breed and Ira Bootleg Dorsey and their influence on rap culture.
Everything started pointing to MC Breed and to Ira Bootleg Dorsey as the pioneers of the Flint rap sound in the early 1990s.
And how they used rap as an outlet during the Flint water crisis.
It shines such an amazing light on the water crisis and the political side and the community work and the activism and the storyline about bootleg.
So where did Zeldez find the film crew? Right here in ComArts with students.
Did some B-roll videography. I did some behind-the-scenes photography. Just a little bit of like a lot of small stuff. You know what I mean? Helping out with anything that Jerry needed.
Zeldez had the resources and became really intrigued with the rap culture in Flint.
Truly, Flint doesn't get the credit that it deserves in the whole history of rap music.
It helps that she was born there.
So I'm a Flintstone. I grew up in Flint.
Even in a pandemic, she was able to host only the second screening of it at the East Lansing Library last week. It's Zeldez's hope that one day the documentary reaches theaters. In East Lansing, I'm Sade Moore, Focal Point News.
Hopefully, Breed and Bootleg, Legends of Flint Rap will be in theaters soon. For more information, go to www.raponflint.com for more updates on the documentary and where to watch it. Last week, the Broad Art Museum had a different type of art on display. Focal Point's Ramaya Treewern has the story.
You probably think of art hanging on walls when you go to the Broad Art Museum on the Michigan State campus. But what about this kind of art? Rapper Jayla Smalls is using the museum as the perfect place to shoot a music video.
Sans Mercy is really about people having like their different suggestions and opinions of the way I do my music or the way I'm just me. And so given the fact that there are 3 different personalities within this video thanks to Kat.
The crew worked all day shooting the video. Katarina Keeley volunteered her time to direct the video.
And action!
Jayla says she wants the video to be an expression of herself.
My family's real musical. I just started to catch on to like rapping, and the female rappers of course now being, you know, the epitome of music today. And so gradually as I was doing my own like music, whether it was in choirs, I just finally decided to individually come out with my own art.
Impact Radio, the FM station on the Michigan State campus, plans to run the video as soon as the editing is complete.
In East Lansing, Ramaya Truern, Focal Point News.
For more information on Impact Radio, go to impact89fm.org. That's it for this week's entertainment. Reagan?
Coming up, a snow force is coming to town with the hopes to raise money for community service.
After the Spartans' big upset against Illinois earlier this week, did the men's basketball team have a letdown last night against Ohio State? I'm Darren Baydoun. Sports is next.
Let's set the scene. The COVID-19 vaccine is the next part to restart our lives. We can aid in the fight well beyond our nation by checking out a vaccination station. 1 shot, 2 shot, COVID and flu shot. In case you forgot, this is our shot.
52% protection, but let's not forget to mention once you get the second dose, 95% is close. Doing the most to be close to a loved one, together's the goal, and men will be whole.
What's the point? It's in your arm to defend against global harm.
Welcome back to Focal Point. I'm Darren Baydoun with this week's sports. After upsetting number 5 Illinois Tuesday night, the Ohio State Buckeyes rolled into town Thursday for the Spartans' second top 5 matchup in just 3 days. Dwayne Washington and the Bucks came in at 12-6 on the season and number 4 in the country, but that was set to change. Here's Langford to Heron Henry, who lifts up and rocks the rim and gives MSU a 3-point lead with 10 to go in the first half. Henry was busy all night long, but how about this pass from Rocket Watts? Marcus Brigham working the pick and roll down low and flushes it home, bringing MSU to within 3 halfway through the first. To the final seconds of the game we go now. Just when everyone thought it would be Henry to put the game on ice, Josh Langford stops and pops for a cold-blooded 2-point shot to secure a Michigan State win, 71-67. Aaron Henry postgame said that back-to-back top 5 upsets is just another day in the office for this locker room.
Don't applaud a fish for swimming. You know, fish swim all day. You know, Spartans have won before. We have won before. And, you know, we have to continue to do that and take it one day at a time.
Tom Izzo and company continued their tough slate of games with a trip to College Park to play Maryland on Sunday. The MSU women's basketball team already had 8 home wins inside the Breslin and looked to make it 9 against Rutgers on Wednesday. Junior guard Nia Clouden warming up before this one. She leads the team in scoring on the season, but we start with 2 to go in the first. Clouden, with a nice assist, loses her defender on a hesitation move inside and feeds it inside to Tyler Parks for the easy 2. The assist didn't stop there though for Clouden. To the fourth we go. She draws 3 defenders inside and kicks it out to Osmond, who then makes the triple and makes it a 2-point game. Rutgers up 51-49. But Rutgers did pull away in the end. Malaya Collins with the open 3, and the Spartans fall 63-53. Head coach Susie Merchant said the quiet night from Cloud and Eliza Winston were the difference.
You know, they're kind of our Batman and Robin, as I say, and we didn't seem to have Batman or Robin today, and that's not an easy game to go into if you don't, you know, you don't have consistency scoring-wise. So, yeah, it's difficult.
Merchant and the Spartans are now off to Nebraska for tomorrow for a 2 p.m. tip against the Cornhuskers on BTN+. After a 1-1 overtime thriller to begin the season, women's soccer got their first win against Nebraska yesterday at Schoolcraft College. Goals from Miranda Hart and Abby Gardner made it a 2-0 victory and a 6-save clean sheet for keeper Lauren Kozel. They face Minnesota Monday at home. And now back to Brianna and then at the desk.
Thank you, Darren. We certainly had enough snow in the past week to build a snowman around here, but one group is building them a little differently. Focal Point's Katie Schroeder joins us now live in Lansing to explain in this week's Focal Point Friday finale. Katie?
Yeah, Brianna, it's pretty hard to get anything done when we are knee-deep in snow here in Michigan. However, one local organization is celebrating 10 years of putting a twist on a winter classic, and it doesn't require a single inch of snow. recycled newspaper piled up on a stick, like inches of snow piled on top of cars.
Now here's a general shape.
Community service organization JCI Lansing.
When she brought it to me, I was like, that makes so much sense.
Unconventional approach to a snow day tradition that raises funds for JCI's yearly community service efforts.
So this is Mr. Olaf.
Olaf isn't the only snowman that's buckling up and traveling across Greater Lansing as part of Operation Snowman Army.
We use it as a fundraiser, but that also means that because so many people get so much joy out of it throughout the season of doing Operation Snowman Army, that we get to give back to the community the rest of the year.
This year,
I think it's very important because not only are you doing something fun for yourself, but you're also, if you're taking kids with you, you're making a memory with them. And this is building a memory here for our neighborhood.
A $25 donation for memories that stick longer than snow.
This weekend, we actually have one that's being delivered for a 6-year-old birthday. He has no idea. He's 6, so he hasn't even been, he hasn't been out of the house much in the last year because of COVID. So Mom wanted to do something different for him, something special, because he can't have his normal birthday party.
An unconventional way to celebrate with unconventional snowmen.
Somebody says, looks like he missed his flight for Panama because he's now in snow up to his neck.
JCI Lansing is taking donations for invasions up until March 17th, with most of the donations going back to the local food bank. All right, that's all I got for you here. I do have to get Olaf back with his snowman army, so back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Katie and Olaf. Well, that's our show for tonight. We hope you have a great week. I'm Brianna Idzior.
All of us here at Focal Point, thanks for watching.